Paris will send Henderson back deep for the kickoff. Pretty good bet he will not get an opportunity to test his speed as Farley prepares for the Cable One kickoff. We are just about set to get underway in Week 9, and the football is on the ground. It is a squib kick that's going to be bobbled at the 35 by an interior lineman who was up front on the hands team. He will return it out to the 38, and that's where the Wildcats start 1st and 10.
I believe it was Mario Polk, the first man there to make the stop, so they will start at the 38.
Pretty good crowd here at Munson Stadium despite the chilly weather and the threatening skies. Rain expected to be falling by the end of the game. It has been several hours since the raindrops fell in earnest, but more rain on the radar, and we're told moving in this direction. Here come the Wildcats to the line of scrimmage. Craig Corriston, the quarterback, 5'11", 180, and a senior. One man, that's Jesse Henderson in the backfield. This is going to be a reverse to a receiver. The Jackets sniff it out, and that is the Yellow Jackets' Anthony Hines on the tackle.
What a great play by Anthony Hines to get Hill in the backfield. It was a reverse. Hill took it about the 30-yard line, never made any forward progress as he was stopped right there. Hines, of course, moving from the defensive end position back to a linebacker spot, made a heck of a play there for an 8-yard loss.
34 tackles coming into the game, now make it 35 for Anthony Hines, 24 of those unassisted. A big loss for the Wildcats, 2nd and 18 from the 30-yard line. Just underway here on 93.1 FM. Lynn Burkhead and Monte Walker, thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. Maroney, the tight end, flips. This is a handoff. Henderson running right, trying to get the corner. He's tackled at the line of scrimmage. The Jackets, a great job of pursuing him down the line and making the stop.
Yeah, nice job over there. Bill Bates makes the tackle at the 30-yard line. When we say Bill Bates, we mean Nathan Farley, of course. And
I was going to clarify that.
I talked to him yesterday in practice, and he said, man, everybody's been calling me that all week long.
I think Bill is actually a little ineligible at this point in time in his career.
That nickname may have stuck, and especially if he keeps sticking people like that, it certainly will.
3rd and 18 for the Wildcats. Denison has given up 31 conversions and 87 third down attempts to their opponents, and Henderson comes in motion. 5-receiver set. Corriston, he'll pump, wants to come down the near sideline, throws the route, and it's going to be Roddy Powell in good pass defense. Incomplete punting time for the Wildcats.
Well, the ball was overthrown to his receiver, and Powell actually had a step on the receiver there, and I believe that was Rufus Hill that was going right down the near sideline. Paris moving right to left on the radio dial, and Powell was right there in great coverage.
Well, one streak we want to see in tonight. This would be a great time. It has been 47 games since the Yellow Jackets have a special team, or actually a kick return for a touchdown, either a punt or a kickoff return. Back deep is Corey Robertson and Robert Jackson. And it'll be Corriston, the quarterback, standing at his 16-yard line to punt the football away for the first time tonight. Jackets have the return on. It is a short kick, and the Jackets are going to get away from it. Robertson waving everyone away. It will roll out of bounds around the 38-yard line, and the Yellow Jackets start 1st and 10 there. Your IAP starting lineup for the Denison Yellow Jackets: across the front, Tom Hayes, Robbie Thomas, Gary Wetz, Shane Stone, and Nathan Breelove. The starting quarterback tonight, Cody McGuirk, in for the injured Will Crawley. Christian Brown, the wideout. Trent Mahena and Vincent Rhodes, the tight end. Jerry Jones, the flanker. And the backfield will be Scooter Means for the Yellow Jackets, along with Corey Robertson. We'll check down on the sideline in just a moment for an update on Will Crawley's injury. Check that. It is Josh Vaughn getting the start. Too tight power set. Robertson the handoff. Runs in traffic. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard before he disappears to the turf. That is your IAP starting lineup for the Jackets. Let's check down with Jason Smith, our Bradford Funeral Home man. Give us an update on Will Crawley.
Guys, after checking with the doctor this week, it has been determined that Will Crawley has a 2nd-degree tear of his MCL tendon. He's expected to be out for 2 weeks.
Robertson credited with 2 yards on the carry. I formation of Vaughn and Robertson. Robertson the toss, heading up through traffic, gets about 3, maybe 4 tough yards right up the middle, and it'll be 3rd down and about 4, maybe 5 yards to go for the first.
Well, I believe they're going to place the ball in between the 44 and the 45-yard line, so it will be about 4 yards to go for Robertson. Just a straight hitter up the gut, and a nice gain there. We've seen that a lot this year. One more would give them a first down.
Jackets 35 of 83 in third down conversions at 4:22. Robertson toss right side, lowers the shoulder, first down and more as he crosses the midfield stripe into Wildcat territory to the 49.
Nice job by Robertson. A little toss to the right side, to the near side over here, and gains enough for the first plus 2 yards.
Neglected to give you the IEP. Paris, the starting lineup defensively. Justin Webb, Chris Brunson, Brandon Fulbright, and Chad Morrow up front. The backers, Jermaine Davis, Jamon Franklin, and Patrick Humphrey. The corners, Deontay Carter and Lloyd Gordon. Back deep, Melvin Caesar and Dennis Johnson. The Jackets first and 10. I formation of Vaughn and Robertson. Vaughn's first carry of the night, rumbling ahead to the 45, still pounding his way near the 40-yard line before he's brought to the turf. Big man for the Wildcats, and I'm telling you, he is a big one. Chris Guerrera, the defensive tackle, and he brought him to the turf, but it is a carry of 8 yards on first down.
Well, the best tackling trio may be over there in Paris. They've been called the best linebacking trio in the area, and they make a run for the statewide list. Patrick Humphrey, Jermaine Davis, and Jasmine Franklin. They are pretty much on pace to have 150 tackles each.
Guerrera, an offensive lineman as well, weighs 255. But Vaughn carried him. This is going to be a toss, and it is going to be Vaughn trying to head to the right side. He had to go up high to haul it in, and he's dragged down for a loss. So 2nd and 2 is now 3rd and 3 as Vaughn goes down. He had to climb up a little bit. The ball was a little high on the toss, and he had to haul it in, and that disrupted his motion forward.
Of course, Vaughn a little bit taller and lankier than Scooter means. Scooter pretty much is low center of gravity, can get him through the hole a lot quicker, but and I shouldn't say Vaughn is lanky because he's not. He's huge.
He is a big
but he's
young
taller.
Man. 3rd down and 3 at the Paris 42. Denison 1 out of 1 in 3rd down conversion. Straight eye look, too tight set, a receiver to the left. This is Vaughn, handoff, plows ahead, and he doesn't get it as the Wildcats stuff the line of scrimmage. Vaughn gets 1 yard, he needed 3, and it'll be punting time perhaps for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see if Bob Brown elects to go for it or to punt.
I'm not sure that he really gained a yard. They're going to mark it still at the 42, so we'll see what Coach Brown elects to do. Raymond Smith is checking into the game. He's the deep snapper, but that doesn't. I don't see anybody else coming into the game.
I don't see. Nope, they're going for it. 4th down and 3. Power eye, too tight set. Robertson the toss, heads right. He's got the 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First down and literally a touchdown saving tackle by the cornerback for the Wildcats.
Oh, baby, when you need a nice play, when you need a big play, you call C. Rob 2's number, and he'll get it for you. And he's doused in mud now. He landed over here to the near sideline on this sand, and it's just covered his jersey. They're having to wipe him off with a towel.
Lloyd Gordon, the man that saved the touchdown, and if he does not grab him around the shoulders and haul him down, Robertson would have been in the end zone. He was the last man to save the touchdown. It is 1st and 10 Denison. They get the 4th down conversion. They're now at the Wildcat 27. Vaughn offset eye with Robertson dotting it. This is a handoff. Right side, Robertson cutting it back inside, lowers his shoulder and pounds his way up across the 25, perhaps the 24-yard line. And already the mud is really appearing in the uniforms. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home man, Mr. Jason Smith. Jason, you weren't kidding. It is going to be a muddy affair tonight.
It really is, and that's, I think, plays to Denison's favor. When you look how huge Sulphur Springs is up front, they really are. Yeah, they may be able to push the Jackets around a little bit early in the game, but come 3rd quarter, when it's really slippery out there, those guys are not going to be able to move as well as they are now.
Jackets get 2 yards on the carry from Robertson, so 2nd and 8 from the 25. This is Robertson, the toss left side. Heads left, lowered his shoulder, and headed right back behind his center, Gary Wetz, as he thought he saw a seam inside. Picked up a couple of tough yards. 3rd and long for the Jackets.
I want to know a stat about Robertson. His 200 yards games, he's had 3 of them. There have only been, I believe, 3 backs in Denison school history that have had more than him. Aaron Jackson, Chris Robertson, and DeJuan Gentry each had 4. That is amazing.
And no one with 3 consecutive games. This is 3rd down and long. Robertson toss right side, lowers the shoulder, lost the ball. It's on the turf. A scramble for it at the 20-yard line, and Paris says they've got it, and I'm afraid they're correct, as Robertson lost the handle on it as he tried to turn inside, and there was a big scramble for the ball. Robertson never had a chance to get back on it.
There's no signal yet, as they're still kind of scraping the guys off the bottom. Robertson was hit right in the back, and the ball popped loose. Paris says they have it, and they do.
Fumbles were the undoing of the Yellow Jackets against the Wildcats in the past 2 contests. And tonight, Denison, who came in with a -2 turnover ratio, gets another fumble on the year. Denison came in with 7 fumbles lost, and that is now 8 fumbles lost. And again, the last 2 meetings, 21-0 Paris, a winner last year, 21-7 Paris a win or 2 years ago, and turnovers a big part of that.
If there's any good news that comes out of this, they are pinned deep in their territory at their own 20.
Corriston, the quarterback from the shotgun, flanked by Henderson. 4 receivers. High snap. Corriston going to try to hand it off inside. Does so. Check that. Not Henderson. Yeah, it is. Henderson showing his speed as he crossed the 25-yard line, got out to the 26. And it'll be a 6, perhaps a 7-yard gain. So second and short coming up. Already a lot of time gone in the first quarter. 4:51 and counting in quarter number 1 in a key District 11 4A game. No score, Denison and Paris. Wildcats will send receivers either side. This is a 2 tight offset eye set on second and short. The fullback in motion. This is a deep handoff. Henderson hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
Raymond Smith right there. He's the tackle leader. That's going to be a loss all the way back to about the 24. So that's a 2-yard loss. Raymond Smith came in with 50 unassisted tackles, 23 assisted. So give him 73 coming in. And now that moves up. That's a big 7-4.
He absolutely manhandled Henderson on that. He devastated him.
Yeah.
And it will be 3rd and 6 after it was 2nd and 2. So Denison's defense stepping up to the plate early and answering the call. 3rd and long for the Wildcats. This is going to be Corriston rolling right. Pressure comes backside. Throws on the run. The catch is made. Or is it? Is it a completion? And no indication. Yes, it is a completion. And it will be a first down out to the 35-yard line. Corriston running away from 2 Yellow Jackets, including Nathan Farley. He eluded them and threw a strike to his tight end.
Well, Marcus Davis was the man there who was the first one there to make the tackle since he was already on the ground. They're going to mark it in between the 34 and 35, so give him a 10-yard gain and a first down.
It's actually Jacob Bedford on the catch. He's the leading receiver, 25 catches, 385 yards, and 3 TDs coming into the game tonight. He gets a first down there. 1st and 10 from the 35. Corriston, 3-step drop, hit as he throws, launches it downfield, overthrows everyone, and Corriston slow to get up and has not gotten up. Vincent Rhodes pounded him. Hackworth, rather.
Well, Hackworth, those linebackers just really pound people. Both of them, if you'll remember Brian Pritchard last year, both of them kind of look like Pritchard, kind of short, squatty guys, but, man, they really bring it.
They do bring it. Brent Southworth, in his first year as the head coach of the Paris Wildcats, checking with Corriston to make sure the cobwebs are clear. There we go. 2nd and 10 from the 35. After the incompletion, no score, Denison and Paris. 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first. Corriston running the option, coming near side. He'll keep it himself. Vincent Rhodes fights off a blocker and will take him to the turf, but not before Corriston gets 6 yards and make that 7 yards. And nice diversity on the offense.
Well, it is, and the bad thing about moving people around your defensive end position is they're not used to playing the option. And Vincent Rhodes on this play, of course, playing defensive end now instead of the inside 2 technique like he was before. When you're running against the option, you really have to play great technique. And that's something they really hasn't seen a lot playing the defensive end.
3rd and 3 from the Paris 42. The Wildcats, 2 receivers to the right. Henderson behind Corriston. Corriston slips as he comes out from center. Hit as he pitched. Henderson trying to get around the corner. Can't do it. Forced out of bounds for a loss on the play. And again, Corriston slow to get up. He has taken a pounding as Raymond Smith hit him as he pitched the football.
Yeah, that was great technique by Raymond Smith. The linebacker took the quarterback all the way, pounded him all the way back to about the 34-yard line, but Corriston did get the pitch off in time, so it will be, looks like 4th down at the 34-yard line.
Corriston kind of holding his wrist. That's bad news for a quarterback and a punter, and he may be hurt. He is calling for a timeout. The Paris Wildcats have called a timeout. 2:35 to go in the first. No score in our game between Denison and Paris. We're back after this Yellow Jacket timeout.
Number 20, Chad Morrow, punts the ball for the Wildcats.
Chad Morrow, as we come back, just punted the football, apparently in for a potentially injured Craig Corriston, and he punted it to Robert Jackson, who took it at the 29, went up to the 37, and so the Yellow Jackets start 1st and 10, checked at the 38-yard line, so a 9-yard return by Robert Jackson.
Well, a nice job Nice job there by Jackson fielding the punt. It's going to be kind of tricky on a nasty field like this to even make the catch on things like that. So a good job of getting the punt in.
Jackets with 2 wideouts to the near side, left to right on the dial. Play action. McGuirk, first pass of the night. He's going to set it up. It's a screen to Josh Vaughn. Caught 40, lowers the shoulder, and pounds his way out to the 47-yard line before he's ridden out of bounds. Nice job by McGuirk on his first pass of the night as he comes in relief for the injured Will Crawley.
Yeah, that was a nice job. And as long as they throw those little screen passes, he won't have any trouble like that, as long as they don't ask him to go down the field too much tonight. But that was a nice job there by Vaughn coming out of the backfield. Just that little inside screen pass, and gained about 8 yards. So it sets up right at the 46-yard line.
Very good blocking by the offensive lineman who peeled out in front as McGuirk 24 of 55, 6 interceptions and 2 TDs for 222 coming in. Toss to Vaughn, or it may have been Means, and the ball may be loose again. Paris says they've got the ball, and the official says they do. The Yellow Jackets on the second consecutive drive. Scooter Means fumbles the football, and Paris is in business at the Yellow Jacket 44.
Well, this is not what we wanted to see. It's what we saw last year with the Jackets. So many turnovers against Paris. Don't know if it's so much Paris trying to strip the ball or just the fact that the field is kind of nasty and they're making mistakes.
Coach Brown, as you're preaching to Scooter, you got to hold the football with both hands, young man. 1st and 10 Wildcats, second turnover of the first quarter for the Jackets. Flags flying everywhere with 1:33 to go. Too many men in the huddle should be the call. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. Jason, the Jackets came in pumped, but the sideline kind of quiet right now after 2 turnovers.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where you just danged if you do, danged if you don't, and it's everything. They try to do something good, defense plays good, and then the offense is coming back, and just weird freak plays. That one right there, Scooter actually had the ball back in his possession. I've seen it on the bottom of the pile, and it was pulled away from him in that pile. So it's not going the way of the Jackets as far as the turnover game. Very reminiscent of last year. Also, speaking of not going your way, Paris have some tough times as well. They have a new quarterback in the huddle at this time.
That is, in fact, the case. That is Lloyd Gordon for the Wildcats. So apparently, Corsten was, in fact, injured.
Well, that was Raymond Smith who made the big hit on him a moment ago. So that's probably the reason he is not in.
Well, the Yellow Jackets came in -2 in the turnover ratio department. They are now -4. Fortunately, so far tonight, it has not cost them, although we're just underway in a series after a fumble. And I want to bring something up. You know, we have given a lot of praise to the sophomore class, and deservedly so. But sometimes in key games, the youngsters aren't as seasoned as the veteran seniors are, and this is probably going to be a 2-week stretch that the sophomores are going to have to play well, but the seniors are going to have to step it up as well and take their share of the load. So we'll see how that plays out.
Well, talking about the sophomore class, it's hard to sometimes remember that they're sophomores because they play so well. But when they make the mistakes, you just really have to realize that they are, and they don't have the experience that a lot of the juniors and seniors do.
Well, a 5-yard walk-off makes it 1st and 15 from the Yellow Jacket 49. Gordon under center, hands it off to Henderson. He blasts his way through 2 tackles and turns his way out to the 37-yard line, and that is going to be a 13-yard gain, sets up 2nd down and short. Check that. It's an 11-yard gain. They said his knee hit back at the 39. So 2nd and almost 5 to go. Henderson may be the man Denison has to stop if Corsten is still out of the ballgame.
Henderson is so fast. He is the 100-meter champion of the district.
This is Lloyd Gordon in relief for the injured Corsten. Hands it off. Henderson, he's hit at the line, behind the line, but he found his way through would-be tacklers, and he is near the 1st down marker. 35-yard line. Smith missed him behind the line of scrimmage. Someone had a shot at the line, and Henderson found daylight.
Well, Malcolm Allen, finally the guy on the bottom of the pile who made the tackle, and it's going to be marked at the 35. So call it 3rd and very short, probably about 1.
3rd and 1, the ball at the 35. Paris fell behind 28-14 to Sherman last week in the first quarter before storming back and making it a very interesting game in the last few minutes. Power eye, too tight set. Gordon turns, hands it off to Henderson, plows his way forward, breaks the line of scrimmage, and the ball is loose on the turf. A scramble for it at the 26. Denison did not come away with it as a white jersey got on the ball as Henderson lost it at the 23. It came back to the 25, and it was almost a big break for the Jacket D.
This is deja vu. Last year, Paris fumbled just as many times as the Yellow Jackets did. The difference in that football game is they recovered all of their turnovers, all of their fumbles, and Denison did not. That happening again tonight.
And that is the final play of the first quarter. We'll come back and talk about a couple of things. No score, but the Wildcats threatening to turn a Jacket turnover into points. We're back on Katy Country after this timeout.
Okay.
We're back, Munson Stadium, starting the second quarter. No score, Paris and Denison, but the Wildcats, after a Scooter Means fumble in Yellow Jacket territory, have driven to the Denison 27. This is Lloyd Gordon, hands it off. Henderson hits a brick wall and goes nowhere. That was great penetration on the defensive front by the Yellow Jacket front men, including Hines and Vincent Rhodes, and Farley there to cap it all off.
Yeah, Vincent Rhodes, he's having a pretty good game so far. Him and Brent Lemons there on the front line. Both of those guys play very good technique inside. Brent Lemons talking to him during the senior spotlight. If you got a chance to listen to that, that was fun because this kid wanted to be a Jacket ever since he could remember.
2nd and 10 from the 27 of Denison. Lloyd Gordon in for the injured Craig Corriston. And this is going to be Lloyd Gordon. He is rolling to the left side, wants to throw, hit as he throws, almost intercepted and then caught. I believe, did he catch it?
Yeah, I believe he caught it, and he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. They're going to mark him about the 19-yard line.
Sam Maroney, the tight end, the man that hauled it in, and I think that might have been Farley that had a shot at getting his hand, or Raymond Smith, rather, who had a shot at getting his hands on the ball as Lloyd Gordon threw it through traffic, but Maroney hauls it in 3rd and 2.
I really don't know how he caught it because there were so many black jerseys around, and I said 3rd and 1, but it is going to be, in fact, 3rd and 2.
So Gordon's first pass attempt of the night complete. Power eye, too tight set. This is Henderson running right, first down.
He's going to be tough to stop all night long. He just gets to the hole so quick. He's like Robertson. He's just a little bit smaller. He's kind of a scat back type of back, but he gets to the hole really quick.
One good thing working for the Jackets, we don't know the extent of Corriston's injury and how long he'll be out, but he is half their offense. Came in throwing for 1188, while Lloyd Gordon only 136 yards passing in relief on the season. And Corriston has not returned, but it is Gordon leading the offense right now. 1st and 10 Paris from the Yellow Jacket 14. 10:21 to go in the first half, no score. Wildcats threatening. Henderson into traffic, and he is going to be hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Hines comes off the top of the pile, and coming off the bottom of the pile, Raymond Smith.
Yeah, Raymond Smith, the tackle leader, once again, right there. Johnny on the spot, and he seems to be always on the spot.
136 yards passing, 12 out of 25 for Gordon in relief. But again, that is a huge loss if Corriston is unable to come back. He has thrown for almost 1,200 yards coming into the game tonight, and he has not returned. This is 2nd and 10, the ball at the 14. Gordon with one man, Henderson, in the backfield. He is going to turn, hands it off. Henderson, he's hit from behind and dropped at the line of scrimmage. It was Hackworth that corralled him from behind, and a couple of teammates finished him off. 3rd and long for the Paris Wildcats.
Yeah, Hines was in there. Brent Lemons was in there. You know, I tell you what, Lemons may be one of my favorite players after that senior spotlight. I had so much fun with that, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but when you see kids that grow up and they want to be a Jacket so much and they show so much pride to be a part of this thing, that's what's special.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 11, 3 wide outs. Henderson behind Gordon. Gordon, quick drop, wants to throw. He's sacked in the backfield. He will not get a chance to make it a first down throw as the Yellow Jackets crash through.
Yeah, Vincent Rhodes was right there, the big junior. Of course, he crashed through for a big loss. He's a defensive end now, and he's almost the size of Charles Haley was when he was playing for the Cowboys.
14 sacks coming in, now make it 15. For the Yellow Jackets, that gives them 97 yards in sack losses, and it will be a field goal attempt. 37-yard effort coming up by Morrow, Chad Morrow. Gordon to hold, good snap, and Morrow's kick is on the way. It has the distance, but it may not be true, and it is not. Wide right, and the Yellow Jackets dodge the bullet after the turnover. 8:22 to go in the first half, and Chad Morrow misses from 37. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, Jason Morrow, pretty good leg, but he never had that one true.
Well, yes, he does have a pretty good leg. If you remember, he gave Paris a momentary lead against Sherman last week in overtime with the field goal that he booted there. But Jackets D and the sideline answering the call. They're all ready to go now and breathing a big sigh of relief.
Hey, Lynn, I love the American Bank of Texas, but I'm sure glad I don't have to give a scoring drive recap there.
Absolutely, the Jackets with the ball at the 20, and this is going to be McGuirk back to pass, eludes the pressure, throws one. He's got a man wide open. Josh Vaughn, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, out of bounds at the 25-yard line. McGuirk rolls out, found Vaughn all alone and laid it on the money. It's a big pass play for the Jackets.
Boy, give all the credit in the world to Cody McGuirk, who scrambled out of the pocket, had men all around him, made a decision that he was going to throw the football up, saw Vaughn, nobody around him about the 45-yard line, laid it right on the money. Vaughn scrambles down to the 20-yard line, 22-yard line, and that's the longest play of the year. Hats off to Cody McGuirk.
Longest pass play of the year for the Jackets. Offensive play, I'm corrected, of any kind. 58 yards. Vaughn nearly went the distance. This is Robertson getting the toss. Left side, lowers his shoulder and gets across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Cody McGuirk was in jail behind the line of scrimmage, eluded two tacklers, rolled to the near side, and laid it on the money. Denison has been pretty efficient defensively in the red zone, only giving up 2 touchdowns and 20 trips by their opponents. Now it's 2 touchdowns and 21 trips. They've been equally efficient on the other side of the ball. Try this, 34 trips into the red zone, 30 touchdowns, 3 field goals, only 1 time inside the 20 do the Jackets come away without points. They are at the 20 now. 2nd and 8. This is Robertson. This play action. This is going to be Vaughn, or actually Hines heading left side to the 15. He's down around the 10-yard line. Should be enough for the first down. It was Hines lining up in the slot position, kind of snuck in there and hit himself behind the line of scrimmage and took the handoff as the fake was made to Robertson, and he did the rest.
Yeah, they're going to mark it inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Nice job by Hines.
Not very often that Anthony Hines is able to hide himself in a football game, but he did that time, and it was just simply a flanker reverse. Wingback reverse.
Yeah, he came in with 13 carries for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season.
1st and goal from the 8. McGuirk tosses to Robertson. He'll cut it inside to the 5-yard line. Actually, they'll say the knee went down at the 6. So 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the half. The clock running. No score between Denison and Paris. The Wildcats threatened Denison. The defense held. Now Denison has returned the favor, and they have their first trip inside the 10-yard line of the Wildcats.
Well, this is a crucial drive right here. And talking red zone, these Yellow Jackets are very good once they get inside the 20-yard line.
Means the fullback, offset eye. Robertson, the toss left side. He'll try to cut it inside. Gets down to the 4-yard line. So 3rd and goal upcoming from the 4 as they took it to the left hash mark. And I hate to bring this up, but do you begin to think about where you want the ball for a field goal attempt if you can't crash it to the end zone? They are going to have 3rd and goal from the 5. It will be on the left hash mark.
Denison scores 88% of the time they get inside the red zone. That's 30 out of 34 trips.
3rd and 5 for the Jackets.
88% of touchdowns. That's where I'm corrected.
Power eye, too tight set. McGuirk, he'll toss it to Robertson. It is a halfback pass. Robertson being chased, trying to unload the ball, does so to the end zone. Is it caught? Incomplete in the end zone, out of bounds, and Robertson nearly had a touchdown pass.
Yeah, it looks like he was flushed out. He was going to throw it initially and then had chase from one of the defenders, which flushed way back out of the pocket, decided to throw it anyway. And I trying to find out who the receiver was. I think it was Roger Grant over there, but it was in the far corner of the end zone, and it just fell out of bounds, or just fell incomplete.
Robertson did a great job to elude the pressure and then did a great job to put the ball semi on the money, giving Grant a chance to catch it a yard deep in the end zone, but it was out of bounds. Farley on for the field goal. The Jackets see something they don't like. They'll call a timeout. 5:55 left in the half. 4th and goal from the 5. A field goal attempt perhaps for Denison after this timeout.
81 Nathan Farley to attempt the field goal to hold of number 10.
22-yard attempt from Farley. He is 3 out of 5. McGuirk has the ball down. Farley puts it long enough and through the uprights, and with 5:50 to go in the first half, 3-0 Denison leads.
Paris Wildcats.
Let's do an American Bank of Texas scoring drive recap real quick. Took 8 plays and 80 yards for the Jackets to get on the scoreboard. It was capped off by a 22-yard field goal from Nathan Farley, and the Jackets have a 3-0 lead. 5:50 left to go here in the second quarter before the Grays Credit Jewelers halftime show. And, Lynn, if you'd have said that the Jackets would have fumbled on their initial 2 offensive possessions and still had a lead, you'd be pretty happy about that.
That's right. Jesse Henderson, the deep man. Lloyd Gordon, however, one of the up men. The quarterback, he'll bobble the ball, pick it up at the 21, heads to the far sideline. He's got a seam. Look out. He's to the 30 and corralled around the 40 and wrestled out of bounds at the 41. So Gordon showing a little burst of speed as he returned it 20 yards by my count as he picked it up at the 21 and returned it. No, check it. They're going to say, now they are going to say the 41, so a 20-yard return.
Yeah, Roger Grant, the guy who finally saved the tackle on the
Cable One kickoff.
It was a nice job by Grant getting over there. Of course, Grant plays a wide receiver spot and does a nice job there with 5 catches for 50 yards and a touch. Also can make some tackles.
Lloyd Gordon, the backup quarterback, in for the injured Craig Corsten for the Wildcats. Henderson will be the lone man of the backfield. 3-receiver look for the Wildcats. Henderson gets the handoff. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped, perhaps for a loss. They'll give him a yard loss. Raymond Smith, he has got Henderson's number dialed in.
Well, Raymond Smith playing a great game tonight so far. Anybody running up the middle has really got to deal with him.
You know, and it's a great illustration. You look at the offensive front, Monte, 210, 240, 250, 255, 260. You go, that's a pile of beef. But size is not always what matters. Speed is a killer.
Especially on defense. I'll take quick guys over big guys any day on defense.
2nd and 11 from the 41, and Gordon will set everyone. 3-receiver look left to right for the Wildcats, trailing 3-0 to Denison. Deep handoff. Henderson corralled. He was in jail from the word go, and Vincent Rhodes is the sheriff that headed up that posse.
Well, I tell you what, Paris is going to have to think differently about running up the middle here pretty soon, because right there on the spot is Vincent Rhodes and the interior of that defensive line and the linebackers every time.
Well, Corsten, again, has gone out of the game, and he is a part of that 1-2 punch. He had 11.88 coming into the game through the air, but he has not returned since being hit by Raymond Smith in the first quarter. It is 3rd down and 16 from the Paris 36-yard line. How'd you like an interception here? Gordon from the shotgun. Henderson will flank him. 4-wide out look for the Wildcats. They trail Denison 3-0. High snap, and Gordon hauls it in, but there's flags. Delay of game coming up against the Wildcats.
Well, that'll help Denison out because that'll push them 5 yards further back in their own territory. So instead of getting the ball caught about the 30-yard line, they'll probably have a chance to catch it about the 35. And maybe Robert Jackson, well, it's 3rd here. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already thinking about 4th down.
In Gordon's defense, he's a pretty good quarterback in his own right, the junior. 12 of 25 for 136 coming in, and I believe he is 1 out of 3 tonight. One, a key 3rd down conversion to his tight end, Sam Maroney. This is 3rd and 20 from the 32-yard line. Now Gordon up under center. He'll drop. He wants to throw. Now he's going to be corralled from behind, and he's going to be brought to the turf behind the line. Let's see. Is it the line of scrimmage or behind? If it's behind, it's another sack.
Well, it's at the 31-yard line. There were several guys right there. Brent Lemons was on the bottom trying to corral him from behind, and then I believe it was Vincent Rhodes who came and smashed him from the other side. So all the Jackets really swarming to the football. And here's that punt I wanted. And it'll be Robert Jackson and Corey Robertson standing at their own 35-yard line.
Chad Morrow, the punter in for Corsten, who's the starter, will punt the football away. Robertson and Jackson back deep, and Morrow gets the ball, clean snap, and not much pressure. It is a spiraling kick that Jackson's going to take at the 36. Comes to the near sideline and gets across the 40 out to the 42 before he's brought to the turf, and that's where Denison will start. 1st and 10 from the 42. 3 minutes, 12 seconds to go in a very fast first half. Denison leading 3-0. And let's go back to that thing about the sack. They actually gave Gordon a half-foot progress forward, so it wasn't technically the second sack of the night for the Jacket D. They're playing well, though.
Well, I don't think they're worried about sacks and statistics. I think they're worried about making them punt and getting the football back, and that's exactly what they did.
McGuirk, the quarterback, had a big throw on the last drive to the sophomore Vaughn. This is going to be Vaughn on the carry, and he is going to be out to the 49-yard line before he's tripped up, so a big gain. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home man, Jason Smith. Jason, the sophomore Josh Vaughn, gone last week to an injury, looking good in his return tonight.
Looking really good, and as big as that kid is, he had to run so hard on that long pass play. He got over here on the sidelines and had a little trouble keeping his lunch down, but he is very, very excited and happy to be out there tonight.
Well, they're going to say Vaughn's knee went down back at the 46, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Robertson, the deep handoff. He's got the first down as he crosses into Wildcat territory to the 47-yard line. Robertson, not the ease in gaining his yards tonight that he's had the past 2 weeks, but he's still beginning to pile up a little bit of yardage.
Well, he is, and we've seen a lot more of Josh Vaughn tonight than we normally do carrying the football. They're trying to mix it up a little bit and trying to show other looks to Paris other than Corey Robertson, and Coach Bob Brown doing a nice job of that so far.
Yes, indeed. The Jackets 1st and 10, the ball at the Paris 47-yard line. Denison up 3-0, 2:28 to go in the half. And Denison will have to get all 3 timeouts. Or actually, they have 2 left. They'll have to begin thinking about a hurry-up offense before long. This is going to be Roger Grant near side, and it's Robertson gets the toss, hauls it in, turns the corner, and crosses the 45 out to the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. 4-yard gain, maybe a 5-yard gain, 2nd and about midway in the 10 yards needed for Denison.
Somebody a little bit shaky getting up off the pile, and it is Corey Robertson, so he kind of took a little hit right there. He is up on his own free will, and he says he's okay. He's going to come out of the football game, though, and Robert Jackson will check out. 1:51 left to go before halftime. Denison up 3-0.
I think he might have just simply had the air knocked out of him. He might have landed on the ball. Looks like he's okay. Just looks like he's trying to get some air, and he checks with Coach Bob Brown, and Bob Brown shakes his head. And I think we'll see Robertson back in momentarily. Jackson, the replacement, he'll get the toss, comes near side, and he breaks a tackle, still going to the 40-yard line, is going to be just short of the first down yardage necessary. We'll call it 3rd and short. The clock at 1:23 to go in the first half. Denison with 2 timeouts and a 3-0 lead.
I think they're going to mark him down right at the 40-yard line, so he will have 2 yards to go. Or then now they put it about a foot in front of the 40 at the 39. So he will have a little bit less than 2 yards to go to get this first down. Denison really needs to get on the board again right here before half, and only 1:01 to do it.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet time, but it is a crucial 3rd and 2 from the 40. McGuirk sets a 2-tight set. Jackson gets the handoff. He's got the first down as he gets to the 35-yard line. 49 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll stop the clock to set the sticks and then crank it again. Denison is going to have to hurry to get into Farley's field goal range.
Looks like Cody McGuirk may have had a stinger on his foot or something as he's kind of jumping around gingerly. May have had a helmet hit his calf or hit a shin or something like that, but he's okay. Not leaving the football game. He's just kind of jumping up and down a little bit.
Robertson appears to be okay. He's on the near sideline. 37 seconds and counting. McGuirk offset eye backfield, 2 receivers to the right. He is going to hand it off to Jackson. Jackson runs up the middle to the 29-yard line, and Denison calls for a timeout. 26 seconds to go in the half. The Jackets have 1 timeout remaining. This is a 2-tight set for Denison. It is going to be a play action. McGuirk, he's got time to throw, throws it downfield and had it right in the hands of a cornerback. That was a interception and potentially a return for a TD waiting to happen, and the corner dropped it.
Yeah, Jasmine Franklin actually is a linebacker out there in coverage on the tight end, and McGuirk just missed his tight end. It's thankful that Franklin couldn't hang on to the football as it simply just went right out of his hands.
Well, the only man that was going to have a chance to stop him perhaps would have been McGuirk, because there was not much on the near sideline but green and brown turf. And fortunately, that interception did not happen. McGuirk back to pass, steps up from the pressure, throws it up in the air, and there is bumping and grinding downfield. No flag at the goal line, incomplete, and it is 4th down for the Jackets, or 3rd down, rather. No, it is 4th.
Well, it is 4th down. McGuirk kind of under a little bit of pressure, just kind of chunked a prayer up down there towards the end zone, and that ball in a lot of traffic also.
Well, Farley is going to try a field goal, and this will be the longest of the year if he can connect. He does have the leg under good conditions. The ball spotted at the 36. It is a 46-yard attempt. Farley already with a field goal on the board. McGuirk with the ball down. Farley's kick on the way. It has no chance. Well short. Actually it's going to be returned. The Wildcats had a return man. Denison having to scramble over. They'll make the tackle with 4 seconds to go in the half. And it will be 1 play for the Wildcats as Farley came up well short.
Well, Farley just got well underneath the football, and he probably has the leg to get it there, but he just hit the ball a little bit too much under the ball, And looked like one of those pooch kicks on the kickoff that they kind of do sometimes, as he just got a little bit too much under it.
Well, fumbles have been the story of the night for the Jackets offensively, on two consecutive drives. And one of those snuffed out a potential scoring threat inside the 30-yard line. We'll see if the Wildcats take a shot deep or go to the knee. It looks like they're going to take a shot. Gordon will be up under center. I formation, receivers either side. One play in the half. This is a handoff. Henderson, he breaks the line. Look out. He's running in the clear. Henderson down the sidelines and corralled by Anthony Hines. It cannot end on a defensive penalty, and Hines is going to be flagged for the face mask. No time on the clock, but the half cannot end on a defensive penalty. Anthony Hines perhaps saving a touchdown on that tackle, but he got the face mask.
Yeah, he did get the face mask on the far sideline. They're going to mark him at the 47-yard line, so give him a gain of 25 yards on the carry. This is going to be, I'm not sure which is going to, whether it's going to be the 15-yard variety, and it looks like it probably is. So,
and that is going to put Morrow almost in field goal range.
Yeah, Paris in great shape now at the 36-yard line, and maybe be the 37. It's kind of somewhere in between.
So we'll see if the Wildcats think, no, they do not think Morrow is capable of hitting from that distance. They'll send Lloyd Gordon in. No time on the clock, a defensive penalty on the potential last play of the half, and here come the Wildcats.
Watch a screen pass to Henderson.
One play from the Yellow Jacket 37. Gordon calls for a timeout as he came to the line. He looked at the Jacket defense, saw what he didn't like, and takes a timeout. No time on the clock. One play. Lloyd Gordon and his tailback. It is going to be Gordon back to pass on the play action. All kinds of time. He wants to set up and throws one downfield. It is picked off by the Yellow Jackets. It is going to be Marcus Davis, I believe, on the interception.
I think it might have been Robertson.
It was Robertson. Check that. Robertson makes the pick. He returns it 7 yards before going down. A wild ending to the first half. Add it all up, and it's a 3-0 Yellow Jacket lead in the biggest football game of the 2002 season to date. We'll take a timeout and return after this Yellow Jacket timeout. Well, now we're told it's actually Sherman leading Greenville 17-14 on the Cable One kickoff. Short pooch, fair catch called for and made at the 36-yard line by the Yellow Jackets. I believe that's Roger Grant that made the
Justin Briscoe.
And it was Justin Briscoe, rather, that made the fair catch on the Cable One kickoff. So the Yellow Jackets start 1st and 10 from the 36. Your IAP starting lineup: Cody McGuirk, the quarterback; Christian Brown, Trent Mahana, Vincent Rhodes, and Jerry Jones, the tight end, and the wideouts. Across the front, Tom Hayes, Robbie Thomas, Gary Wetz, Shane Stone, and Nathan Breedlove. Corey Robertson and Josh Vaughn will be the backs in the backfield for the Yellow Jackets. 3-0 lead, first play of the second half. Deep handoff, Robertson coming near side. He's got a lane, room to run, 40, and he's corralled and spun around at the 40, and he'll go down at the 41-yard line. Could have been a late flag perhaps on the Wildcats as a player piled on after Robertson was clearly on the ground, but it will be a gain of 5 yards, and Robertson had daylight. It just closed down too quick.
Yeah, it really did. It was a toss sweep here to the near side. The Yellow Jackets running right to left on the radio dial, and Robertson took it over here, and finally he was hit pretty hard and then had to spin around and try to gain his composure again before he finally went down.
We'll give you the IAP Wildcat starting lineup in just a moment. It is 2nd and 5 from the 41. Robertson the toss, heading near side, 40, trying to get outside, tripped up, gets across the 45, near the first down yardage necessary. He'll be a yard short, so 3rd and 1 coming up.
It was Patrick Humphrey on the tackle, the linebacker over there.
Justin Webb, Chris Brunson, Brandon Fulbright, and Chad Morrow, the defensive front, Jermaine Davis, Humphrey and Franklin, the backers, starting. Gordon, the corner, along with Carter, back deep, Dennis Johnson, and Melvin Cesar. It is 3rd and 1. Denison on the night in third down conversions, 2 for 6.
Already a big play here in the second half on the first series. 3rd and 1. This could be very crucial.
That was your IAP starting lineup. Raymond Smith, a blocking back into the game. Robertson handoff, 3rd and 1. He is going to be close, but I believe short. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to shed the tackler and surge forward, and he is going to be just short. It is going to be 4th and 1, and on the stop for the Wildcats was Darrell Twitty, the junior linebacker.
Well, an interesting decision here. 4th and 1. Right near midfield. So
and the Jackets are going for it. 4th and 1. This a toss. Robertson trying to get outside. He does so. Look out. 50, lowers his shoulder. 45 and pounded to the turf at the Wildcat 43.
Every time you need a big play on 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, something like that, every time he gets the ball, he gets about 15.
You know, and we were talking at the half, Monte, that look at the mud on his uniform. One of the things we like about Robertson is that he's not the flashy Barry Sanders kind of runner. He's the Emmitt Smith, tough, give me the ball, I'm going to get the yard for you kind of runner.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. He's the durable type of back.
1st and 10, the Wildcat 43. This is a toss to Vaughn. He is going to rumble his way inside across the Wildcat 40 to the 38-yard line, and it'll be a nice pickup on first down. We'll give him 4 yards, so 2nd and 6 upcoming.
When I see Josh Vaughn get the ball, I just envision all these moose calls around Munson Stadium, because that's what it kind of reminds me of, the kind of size he is. I want to hear the moose calls in Munson Stadium from now on.
Yeah, that kind of fits him. I agree with that. 2nd and 6 from the 39 of Paris. McGuirk, the quarterback for Denison. Right to left on the radio dial. The Wildcats being jumpy on the line. McGuirk is going to toss it to Robertson. Robertson cuts it inside, lowers the shoulder down to the 31-yard line. That's enough for a first down. The Wildcats nearly jumped off. McGuirk did a nice job of trying to see if they would, as he did the hard snap count a couple of times, but he got the ball snapped, pitched it to C-Rob 2, and the rest is history.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is just classic Denison Yellow Jackets smash mouth football. That's what this is.
Yeah, you know, it brings back kind of a tear in the eye for football of old, because this is the way the game used to be played.
Meant to be played.
And it's the way it's still played in Denison. This is a reverse. Robert Jackson is shedding tacklers. Check that. It's going to be, it's Howard Jackson. He is down to the 21-yard line. He was in that wing position, and just as we saw Hines in the first half, he kind of snuck in behind the line, lowered his body to kind of hide himself, and McGuirk handed it off, and he did the rest. It's 2nd and 1 for the Jackets at the Wildcat 23.
Yeah, they're putting the ball down right now. They're marking it at the 27-yard line. They are going to measure, and like you said, Robert or Howard, both of them are very hard to tell apart. One wears 35, one wears 36. And they're cousins. It's hard to tell them apart. Let's check down on the side with Jason Smith. I believe they're going to measure.
This is going to be 2nd and short. Robertson, the deep handoff. He's going to break a tackle. He sprints to the sideline. He's inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Denison from the 7-yard line. Robertson went right up the middle, found nothing there, bounced it quickly to the outside, found the left corner, and rolled to the 1st and goal.
Here we are again tonight. Red zone opportunities. The Yellow Jackets inside now at the 7-yard line. We'll see what they can do now.
Only one time this season have they gotten in the red zone and failed to score. They've been in the red zone once tonight and have the only points of the game, that a 22-yard field goal by Morrow. This is 1st and goal for the 8. It's a play. No, it's a reverse, and it's going to be, check that, it's going to be Christian Brown, I think, that gets the reverse. He's inside the 10-yard line. Check it. It's Hines on the reverse, and he'll be tackled for no gain, perhaps even a yard loss. 2nd and goal coming up. That play perhaps not going to fool the Wildcats anytime soon.
Well, it was sniffed out pretty early by the Wildcat defense. Of course, their linebackers, Franklin, Humphrey, and Davis, those guys are some of the state leaders for tackles in this area, and those guys sniffed it out pretty good.
Vincent Rhodes checking in. This is the kind of place early in the season that we saw Denison try to throw the ball to one of their tight ends. Trent Mahana's touchdown on a play similar to this. This is a toss. Robertson, he's going to cut it back inside. He's going to make his way near the 5-yard line. That's where they'll say he goes down about a foot behind the 5-yard line. So 3rd and goal coming up, and boy, Denison really could use a touchdown here.
You ever notice when Robertson, a lot of times he'll get the ball tossed to him, he'll cut it inside, turn sideways, and sometimes he even runs backwards for a few yards. Have you ever noticed that? He'll get the ball and turn around and actually be hit from the front because he's running backwards a couple of times.
I have not noticed that. This is a power eye, 2 tight set, 3rd and 5. McGuirk, the quarterback, and he is going to drop back to pass. It's a play-action pass, throws it out, incomplete. Rhodes was wide open in the end zone, and the ball was short from McGuirk. It never had a chance to get to Rhodes, and he was 2 steps beyond the defender.
Well, it was a nice play call and great execution, just the ball wasn't on target, so Farley will come in. He will try another field goal here. Of course, this will put him up by 6, and with the Sherman win and playing the point system here, Denison really needs to win by 8 to guarantee themselves a playoff spot should Sherman go ahead and win tonight.
Farley 4 out of 6 on the year, 1 out of 1 tonight from 22 earlier. This ball is on the way, and it looks deadly. Plenty of distance right down the middle. The ball was spotted at the 12. It's a 23-yard field goal. We've got a Paris player down, but we'll check that when we come back after this timeout. 6-0, the Jackets lead in the third quarter. Farley's going to bang this one down the field, and it's going to hit Gordon, bounces up, he'll haul it in at the 23, heading to the far sideline, turns the corner, he's got some daylight, look out, this is Gordon running up the middle of the field and finally corralled at the 46-yard line. The quarterback has a little bit of speed, and that's the second time he fielded it on the near sideline, headed to the far sideline, turned the corner and made a big play.
Yeah, he sure did, and I believe it was Christian Brown, the guy who finally made the tackle over there towards the left hash, and of course Paris now going left to right on the radio dial, so they will be moving to the south end zone.
And they have great field position to start out. 1st and 10 from the 47. The Jacket defense has been called on all night. They have responded so far. They'll need to do it again. 1st and 10 Wildcats, 6:24 left in the third, a 6-0 Denison lead. A playoff spot on the line in an empty backfield. Gordon back to pass. Now some pressure in his face. He'll go up and throw and it's going to be complete. He was hit as he threw, and it's complete for a first down. On the reception is going to be Jacob Bedford, and I don't know how in the world Gordon delivered that ball. Vincent Rhodes all over him.
Yeah, Rhodes was right there in his face as he was trying to throw the football, and I really, like you, Lynn, I don't know how he got rid of the football.
I'm talking Rhodes was glued to him. And it will be second down and first down at the Yellow Jacket 41. 6 minutes to go in the third. 1st and 10. And this will be Gordon in the shotgun, going to hand it off. Henderson coming near side, hit at the line and dropped. That's the way to tackle a running back.
That is. And Raymond Smith again, Johnny on the spot. He is right there. Seems like every time there's a yard loss, he seems to be the guy producing the loss for the other team.
Yeah, he's a little bit too small to be Johnny Allen. I don't think that's Johnny Allen that snuck in the ball game, but we've had fun with Johnny this year.
Yeah, and I believe Johnny's running for some sort of office tonight. We'll have to check. I don't know if he's done that yet.
2nd and 11 at the 41, empty backfield. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Gordon checking at the line. He's back to pass. Now he's going to wheel, go the other way. He's going to toss it out. Screen! There was a big pop. Incomplete pass.
Well, I believe that was Bill Bates once again over there. And I'm telling you what, he is Bill Bates. When people go up in the air, he just flat lays them out. And he did right there once again.
He leveled Henderson. I'm talking got out the level and leveled him.
Boy. He needs to take off. He wears the number 81. He needs to get rid of that and change with Malcolm Allen and take his number 40 away from him, because that's the way he plays football.
3rd and 11 from the 41. Gordon flanked by Henderson. 4 receivers set. The ball at Denison's 41. Gordon back to pass. He's in the 7-step drop. Here comes pressure. He'll unload the ball. Diving grab. Incomplete. The intended receiver diving for the ball, Andrew Rowland, went off of his fingertips, and guess who?
Yeah, it was Bill Bates again. Nathan Farley on the coverage. Nice coverage there, step for step with him, and the ball was thrown and landed about the 22-yard line in Denison territory, but it was out of the outstretched arms of the receiver, Andrew Rowland, and Bates was right there.
All right, Southworth, Brent Southworth is going to send Chad Morrow in to punt. The ball at the Denison 41. Morrow will stand at his 45, and it will be back for the Yellow Jackets, the Jackson boys. And Morrow, this is a bad kick, straight up in the air. Denison's going to have to get away from it. It's going to take a Paris roll, however, at the 30 and be killed at the 20. He literally knocked that straight up in the air, but it took one of those crazy hops forward. It had so much spin that when it hit, it just shot forward.
Boy, and it couldn't have turned out any better for Paris as it finally rolls inside the 20 and was killed at the 19-yard line. So it turns out to be okay, but at first it went straight up, and it could have taken the same roll backwards, and that would have been devastation for Paris.
Well, Robertson not on the field as this drive starts. He is not on the bench right now. He's trying to walk off on the near sidelines. Actually, that's Malcolm Allen. We'll have to check Corey Robertson. This is going to be Jackson, Robert Jackson. He's going to get the toss, comes near side, tries to turn the corner. He's in jail, but he breaks free. 20, 25, still going, lost the ball, and there's a scramble for it at the 26. The Wildcats say they've got it. Jackson hauled it back in, and that was living dangerously right there. That ball was on the ground.
That's living very dangerously. Jackson took the toss, and he made some nice, nifty moves, kind of shrugged his shoulders at a couple of defenders. There was 3 right in front of him. Yeah, he did kind of look a little bit like DeJuan Gentry used to, as he kind of shook his shoulders a bit, kind of like Mick Jagger or Elvis, whichever one you want. But somehow he squeezed through, made a nice gain, and got the ball back once it was on the turf.
The senior tailback, Robert Jackson, hauled his own fumble back in. He'll get the carry here, and he is going to be hit and dropped for no gain, maybe a yard. It's going to be close to the yardage needed. He needed 2, and they're going to give him maybe 1. I will give him a lot of credit. He was back there with 3 Wildcats behind the line of scrimmage, zeroing in on him, and he kind of did that little DeJuan Gentry, as you were saying, that juke, and I thought he was going down, and he turned it into a good game.
Yeah, I don't know really how he got through there, but he did. And now it brings up another crucial 3rd down, as it's less than a yard.
Jackets not very good in 3rd down conversions.
The Moose calls.
3rd and 1 here. Vaughn and Jackson in the backfield on 3rd and 1. Jackson gets the toss. He's sidestepping his way across the 30 out to the 33. First down by a mile. And Jackson doing the little drill there. That's what I was thinking.
It looks like he was running through the ropes because he had his high steps going on and running through the line of scrimmage, high-stepping his way, and did a nice job. He was probably just trying to step around the defenders, and that's what he did. Whatever he did, it worked because he picked up the first down.
Robertson trying to shake off whatever ails him on the sidelines. We'll check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home man momentarily. 1st and 10, Denison. This is Vaughn on the handoff. He bursts up the middle across the 40. He's nearly got a first down. The Moose rumbles ahead for 9, maybe 10 yards.
Moose.
It's a good thing we're Cowboy fans. You know?
I would hate for any of our listeners to not like the Cowboys, I tell you.
I tell you, Vaughn runs tough. Let's check down with Jason Smith, our Bratcher Funeral Home man. What's Robertson's status?
He looks fine at this point. He's running here on the sidelines and doing some cuts and things of that nature. He said he felt something pop on the last play, so he's putting pressure on it in different, simulating different plays out on the field. Says he can run fine and he can run at full speed, so we'll see if he comes back into the game or not.
1st and 10. They do give him 10 yards. Vaughn gets the first down for the Jackets. They'll move the sticks. 1st and 10 from the Denison 43. 2:51 to go in the 3rd. 6-0 Denison up.
Robertson only 6 yards away from the 100-yard mark. We'll see if he gets a chance to get a crack over the 100. Right now, it's Robert Jackson in the ball game.
Jackets to the line quickly. This is going to be a misdirection inside, and it didn't work out. Denison McGuirk looked confused in who to hand the ball to. He finally handed it to Vaughn, and Vaughn got absolutely nothing.
Well, that's one of those things where those guys probably aren't used to running those plays together in the same backfield, because in practice Robertson works with Vaughn, and it just seems like that way somebody was quicker than the other, and they just didn't have their timing right on that crossbuck, and it's all for naught because they gained 0 yards, setting up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 again. The Jackets quickly to the line. Flanker look, or too tight set. This is going to be a toss inside to Vaughn, and he gets a tough yard. As the Wildcats said, nope, you've gone to the well one too many times on that. Check that. It was Scooter Means who was in the ball game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was Vaughn. I'll get it right in a moment.
I was pointing out to Lynn that it was Scooter Means when, in fact, I was wrong. It was Vaughn. Sorry about that, Lynn.
That's all right. Interesting call here. 3rd down and 8. The ball at the 45. Robertson out of the game, at least momentarily. $1:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-0 Jackets in the lead. Power eye, too tight set. McGuirk up under center, and the power will shift left, and flags will fly, and 3rd and 8 is probably going to be 3rd and 13. That is one thing we can say about the Jackets. They've not been penalized much tonight. Check down with Jason Smith, our Bratcher Funeral man. What happened there?
You can say thank God for a false start right there, because it was a bad exchange between McGuirk and Wetz, the center. There was a false start on the right side of the offensive line from my vantage point. That's what I saw.
Well, I think you're right, and the official agreed, and in 3rd and 8 is now 3rd and 13 from the Yellow Jacket 39. Paris crowding the box. Denison with one receiver set out. This is going to be a handoff inside. Jackson plows his way to the original line of scrimmage out around the 44-yard line, and Denison will have to punt the football away. First punt of the night, believe it or not, for Jerry Jones, 54 seconds and counting in the third quarter. Normally that would be a pretty good thing, but it's only a 6-0 Jacket lead.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones comes into the game with a 35.3 average in punting. That's 22 punts for 776 yards. And we mentioned last week, if you can punt about 35, you're doing okay. Anything better than that is fabulous.
Paris with dangerous speed back. Henderson back deep along with Gordon as Jones stands at his 30 for the first punt of the night. The Wildcats appear to have the return on. And it is Jones having to go down to get the ball, then gets away a pretty good kick. It's going to bounce, take a Denison roll. Henderson thought about fielding it, then backed away, and it will be killed at the 17-yard line. So the Wildcats, with 11 seconds to go in the third quarter, trailing Denison 6-0 start, 1st and 10 from the 18. And Monte, we're 11 seconds away from a quarter that this year has lived up to its advanced billing. It's been known as Jacket Quarter.
Yeah, it really has. The bad thing about Jacket Quarter is that they're losing the scoring in the Jacket Quarter. Denison scoring 75 points on the year, and their opponents are scoring 76. Not a big margin there. However, Denison needs to put a 0 on the board for this quarter.
Corey Robertson back out on the field playing his home run duty, so good news for Jacket fans as Robertson has shaken off the ankle or foot problem. 1st and 10, the ball at the 18. Power I set, one receiver splits to the right. Gordon turns. He'll toss it to Henderson, who's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain or a short gain. Hackworth, the man that hacked him to the turf.
That's a great linebacker name, Hackworth.
That's the final play of the third stanza. We're heading to Jacket Quarter, one quarter, and Denison could be on its way to the playoffs if they can get a couple of more points. We're back after this timeout.
It's a cold night. It's kind of damp a little bit, and you've got playoff implications on the line in the fourth quarter. This is what it's all about.
Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man Jason Smith, big powwow before the fourth started.
Well, there is before every fourth quarter as the Jackets come out and gear up for Jacket Quarter. The coach is telling them just to hang in there, keep playing that fired-up defense, and they're going to take this victory home tonight.
All right, Henderson will come out of the backfield, 2nd and 10, the ball at the 18. This is a 5-receiver empty backfield set. Gordon, the quarterback, in relief for the injured Corsten. Gordon back to pass, hit as he throws, launches it downfield, bumping and grinding, and the receiver caught it on the on the sideline. A great grab, but it was good defense by Denison. The ball laid perfectly in there at the 42.
Yeah, it was a wonderful throw, and of course the backup quarterback into the game. But he made an immaculate throw to the far sideline. Paris now moving to the north end zone on the quarter change, so they're moving right to left on the radio dial, and that was a nice bomb from the quarterback to the receiver.
And he had pressure in his face again as Rhodes was coming along with, I believe, it couldn't have been Farley in that set, but the quarterback laid the ball on the money. Gordon, he's in the shotgun, 1st and 10, fakes the handoff to Henderson. Now Gordon up the field, tripped and falls to the 50-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and short as Southworth mixing it up for the Wildcats on the play call. And I tell you what, you could see what Brent Southworth was doing there. He loaded up 4 receivers on that big pass play to the near side, got Corey Robertson's attention over there, then got Bedford in a man-up coverage situation against Ronnie Powell. Bedford's about 6'2", Ronnie Powell about 5'7", and he used his 6'2", Bedford did, to just haul the ball in over a shorter Ronnie Powell. 2nd and 3, the ball at the midfield stripe, 6-0 Jackets. Gordon running the option. He'll pitch it to Henderson. Henderson trying to turn the corner. He'll break a tackle and then be wrestled out of bounds near the first down yardage necessary. He'll be perhaps a yard shy, and that would set up a big 3rd down play. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. It will be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. The ball will be spotted at the 48, and the Wildcats will have to get to the 46. Almost a yard and a half. Sounds like 2, but they've got about a yard and a half on the field to go to get the 1st down. Power I, 2 tight set. Henderson dots it. Gordon, the quarterback for the Wildcats. Fourth quarter, 6-0 Jacket lead. The Wildcats on the march. This is going to be a handoff. Henderson hit in the backfield. He is dropped for a big loss. 4th down coming.
Oh, that was Chris Hackworth. Made a tremendous stop. Pushed him all the way back to about the 45-yard line. I don't know where they're going to mark him. They may give him forward progress at midfield. They're kind of discussing that right now, but I'm telling you what, Hackworth made a huge hit in the backfield.
Yeah, they cheated the Jackets just a bit perhaps there on that forward progress stuff, because I don't think he made it nearly to the 50-yard line, but that's where they're going to spot it. 4th down and a long 4, and it will be Morrow into punt. And the Jackets with the return on. It's an end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for by Jackson. He'll make it at the 25 with pressure in his face. Ronnie Powell. Ronnie Powell, his own man, almost ran into him, but there was a Wildcat hanging right there on his doorstep, too. And it's time for our favorite part of the game, Mike.
Yeah, it is. State Farm agent Jim McClure, we'll go ahead and give you the trivia right quick. We want to know, we've got 4 backs that have, in Denison history, that have over 1,000 yards. 4 different running backs that have over 1,000 yards in a single season before their senior season. So 4 non-seniors that had 1,000 yards. We want to know who they are. And I'll give you a hint. 2 of them are the Robertson brothers. Call 465-6200, and you could, the first one to call and get the answer right could win a dinner for 2 at the Cotton Patch.
Robert Jackson gets the handoff, and he will surge to the right side, gets a couple of tough yards before he's brought to the turf. Corey Robertson, again, is okay. He was playing defense, but the coaches are going to go with the fresh and non-gimpy Robert Jackson for now, although it looks like maybe Robertson getting ready to check in, and here he comes.
Well, they desperately do need that surge from Robertson. Nothing against Robert Jackson, obviously, but it seems like when Robertson is in the football game, they just simply seem to move down the field and march down the field because he has so much strength up the middle.
2nd and 10, the ball at the Jacket 26, 6-0. Denison lead. Robertson gets the toss, trying to find a running lane, and he gets out near the 29 before he's tackled. And so it'll be a short gain, sets up 3rd down and long.
Well, they're going to mark him at the 27-yard line, looks like.
Cody McGuirk, the Jacket senior quarterback, who, of course, is the starter after Will Crawley injured his knee. He is being a little gimpy. 9:20 to go in the game. 6-0. The Jackets lead. 3rd and 7 from the 29 of Denison. And if there's ever been a time for a crunch championship caliber drive, here it is. Can Denison convert on this key 3rd down? This is going to be McGuirk. Play action. Great block to give McGuirk a chance. He lost the ball. It's free on the turf. The Wildcats pick it up, and they're running to the end zone. But a lineman for Denison will tackle him and save the touchdown. Thomas Hayes. McGuirk got hit blindside, and that could have cost Denison the ball game if he had scored right there.
Well, you can thank Thomas Haas for being aware there of what's going on, as he did make the tackle right about the 15-yard line, and that was an excellent heads-up play by the lineman Haas, or that would have been a touchdown for Paris, but that's just a costly mistake, as McGuirk was under pressure, and he kind of tried to step up in the pocket a little bit, got hit, and fumbled the ball on the ground. Paris recovers, and now Denison is they're kind of got their backs to the wall a little bit here.
Deep yogurt, as my mom used to call it when I got in trouble. And it is 1st and 10, the ball at the 16. Offset eye look, receivers either side for Paris. Can they convert? This is Gordon running to the right. He's got a lane. He wants to run. He's inside the 10, and he's down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Paris at the Denison 4, or now they say the 3-yard line. And if Denison loses this game, it can be hung on turnovers.
It certainly can, and every time the Denison Yellow Jackets play Paris, it seems to be the story each time.
Well, McGuirk was back in traffic. There was a key block that had been made by one of the wideouts to get a lineman off of him, and McGuirk just never realized where he was behind him, and he fought the block off, came right back, slapped the ball out of McGuirk's hands, and the Wildcats have it 1st and goal from the 3. Handoff, Henderson running right. He's to the goal line, and Paris has tied the game with 8:43 to go. And the McGuirk turnover proves very costly right now for the Yellow Jackets with 8:43 left. 3 turnovers tonight for Denison. 1 in the first quarter by Corey Robertson. That was costly. It snuffed out a potential scoring drive for the Jackets on their opening possession. The second turnover equally costly as Paris drove deep into Jacket territory before Chad Morrow missed a field goal. And that last fumble, very key. A huge extra point by Morrow to break the tie. The snap is back. Morrow's kick is on the way, and I'm afraid it's good. And ladies and gentlemen, it is. 8:43 to go in the game. Unbelievably, Denison has owned the Wildcats tonight on the stat book. But now Paris has a 7-6 lead over the Jackets. We're back after this timeout. We are back. A very disappointed home sideline at Munson Stadium. We certainly are not given the ghost up yet. 8:43 to go. That's a lot of time. But this has been a game in which points have been tough to come by, and the Wildcats have been empty all night long in moving the football against the Jackets until that last turnover.
Well, let's do an American Bank of Texas scoring drive recap. That one real quick. 2 plays, 16 yards. It was a 3-yard touchdown by Henderson.
Yes, Henderson on the touchdown.
And Paris now leads 7-6. 8:43 to go here at Munson Stadium. And the Jackets are digging deep, trying to find something in the well.
Well, and not only is the win something that they're going to have to come back for now. Remember, Denison needed to win by 8 tonight. Morrow is going to kick it. It's a short pooch, fair catch called for and made by the Yellow Jackets at the 36-yard line. That's Christian Brown on the fair catch, I believe. And the Jackets will start 1st and 10 with 8:39 to go in the game. Most important thing, obviously, is Denison needs to win. They're a point down. Certainly a Farley field goal would give them a win if they could get that to happen. A touchdown would be even greater. The secondary issue would be winning by 8. Gimpy Robertson limps to the 30. 1st and 10 from the 36. And McGuirk, the quarterback, back to pass. He's going to throw. It is caught out there at the 40-yard line. It was the quick hitter inside one of his wideouts over there. And we'll check and see who that is coming up with the ball. Roger Grant on the reception. A short gain of perhaps 4 yards as McGuirk threw. Grant heavily covered by the cornerback, but McGuirk put the ball in between the numbers, and it'll be 2nd and 5, the ball at Denison's 41.
Well, this is going to have to be a huge drive for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to have to march all the way down the field.
2nd and 5, offset eye of Vaughn and Robertson. Robertson on the delayed handoff, tripped up as he crossed the 40. If he does not get tripped, he has a lot of room to run and would have rumbled for 15 or 20 yards perhaps, but he's tripped up and sets up 3rd down and short on the shoestring tackle.
Well, 3rd down and short is about 3rd and 5.
Yep.
So this is going to be a big chunk, and Robertson will probably get the football here, or you would expect he would anyway, and really need a big play here.
The Wildcats obviously pumped up on their sidelines. Coaches urging them on. 3rd and 4 from the 42-yard line. McGuirk hands it Robertson. Robertson running to the near side, and he got a yard. It is going to be 4th down, 7:22 to go in the game. And what do you do here? You almost certainly have to punt, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so.
From this situation. Lynn. 4th down and about 3 yards to go. McGuirk wants to go for it. And you know what? The Jackets apparently are going for it. They are. Jerry Jones coming to the near sideline. They're going to call him off the field. So a huge gamble here. 4th down and 3 for the Jackets. Power eye, too tight set. Robertson the toss, left side hit, spinning. He didn't get it. He did not get it. Robertson a yard short, and the Wildcats celebrating. They hold Denison in their territory with a 7-6 lead. 6:53 to go in the game. Twitty on the stop. And the Wildcats are in business.
Well, that was Chad Morrow. A lot of those guys just going crazy on the Paris sidelines, jumping up and down like they just won the Super Bowl. And for all intents and purposes, they just kept themselves in the playoffs. If they can hold on to this lead, they are really excited now. They may try to run this clock a little bit here.
Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There's still 6:53 to go in the game. But, again, it has been tough going in the second half. This is Gordon handing it off. Henderson breaking the line of scrimmage. He's gone. 30, 20, forget it. Touchdown, Paris. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Yellow Jackets have seen their hopes of clinching a playoff spot take a momentary derailment. If they had a little work to do a few moments ago, they have a lot of work to do now where points are a premium. 13-6, the Wildcats in the lead. Henderson, a 44-yard touchdown scamper up the middle. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, broke through the arm tackle, and was gone.
Well, he's got some major speed, as once he got through the line of scrimmage, there's nobody on Denison's team that can catch him.
Well, Denison has a lot of work to do, unfortunately, and it's not looking pretty promising right now for the home team. Morrow on to try to make it a 14-6 lead. His kick is on the way, and it is now 14-6, 6:44 to go. And the Wildcats, who've been riddled with severe injuries tonight, have a reason to celebrate. We're back after this timeout. We're ready for the Cable One kickoff, and if there's ever been a gut check time, Monte, for the Jackets, it's now because of this American Bank of Texas drive recap.
Yeah, one play, 44-yard touchdown by Jesse Henderson. That's his second of the night. Now, actually, Paris is on top, 14-6. Very crucial for Denison to get back in this game immediately. 6:44 left to go in this game, and Paris is now kicking off, awaiting the Cable One kickoff.
Wow.
It is.
How quickly this game has turned.
It is very quiet over here on the Munson Stadium
Less
side.
than 2 minutes ago, it was 6-0 Denison. It's now 14-6. Denison calls for the fair catch again. I don't know. I think that's exactly what the Wildcats wanted them to do because it gives them poor field position. Robert Jackson went up for the fair catch on that pooch kick and called for the fair catch. And now Denison, again, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater yet. The Jackets are certainly not out of the game. They're down by 8. That's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, or a touchdown and a field goal. So certainly with 6:40 to go in the game, there's still that opportunity for Denison to get right back in this one. But the second half, yardage has been very difficult for Denison. They've been inside Paris's 10-yard line twice tonight and have only been able to manage 2 Nathan Farley field goals. Timeout. We're going to join them. 6:40 to go. 14-6 Paris. We're back after these messages. Gut check time at Munson Stadium. 6:40 left in the ball game, and what was a 6-0 Denison lead with about 8 minutes to go is now 14-6 Paris after a McGuirk turnover, after a failed 4th down attempt on the ensuing drive, and Denison's got some work to do. Robertson, the handoff, nowhere to go, and he's tackled for a yard loss.
You know, and Paris has got pretty much 10 men in the box. They only have one guy. They have one safety back, and they've got 10 guys committed to stopping the run.
Raymond Smith checks in the ballgame as a blocking back. The clock is the big factor right now for Denison. Denison trailing 14-6, 6:13 and counting in the ballgame. A crucial, crucial game that the Jackets are in danger of letting slip away. 2nd and 10. The ball at the 35 of Denison. 3-receiver look. McGuirk, play action, pressure backside. He'll throw. He's got a man. This man's wide open, and it's caught at the 40. Down to the 25-yard line goes Jackson. What a great, great wheel route out of the backfield. That is Robert Jackson. And Denison's got new life inside the Paris 30.
Well, that was a great throw by Cody McGuirk. He stood strong in the pocket, had his receiver right on the stride. That was a great throw. You have to hand it to McGuirk there, because you can't get much better than that.
He put the ball on the money, and 42-yard pass completion sets up 1st and 10 from the 23. The problem, like Sulphur Springs, is this: has Denison dug too deep of a hole to dig out of? McGuirk, the quarterback, power eye, too tight set, 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 23. Play action again. This is McGuirk throwing downfield, overthrew his receiver. Vincent Rhodes had a step on the defender, and it was one step beyond Rhodes.
Well, that's one of those pass plays that he hasn't been able to connect on yet. Rhodes out of the flats, making a streak towards the post, or towards the corner there, and one of his throws has been a little bit under him, and one has been too far now.
Don't go anywhere. We're setting up for a wild finale. 5:29 to go in the game. Denison has got to probably score something on this drive, you would think. 2nd and 10 from the Wildcat 23, down 14-6. Robertson, the eye back. This is McGuirk, play action, wants to throw. He sets up. This is Trent behind it. He dropped it in the end zone. It was in his hands for a touchdown, and the senior tight end had the big saucer, big eyes, and I'm so sorry for him. He could not hold on to it because it would have given Denison a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, Lynn. Oh, my goodness. That ball was – he had 2 or 3 steps on on the defensive backs, and the ball just simply went right through his hands. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I know Trent, and he is a great young man, and there was nobody more frustrated right then than number 84. He was slow to come back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. McGuirk, he's going to toss it. This is Hines wanting to throw the halfback pass. Throws it. It's a leaping attempt at the goal line. Incomplete. Could have been a flag. There was none, and it is now 4th and 10. 3 consecutive incomplete passes by the Jackets, and here is a huge, huge decision for the coaching staff. Do you kick the 3 here with 5:14, or do you go for the touch? Or the first down, rather.
Well, I think they're going to go. Actually, they're going to call a timeout real quick.
We're going to join them. 5:14 to go. We're back in a moment. Well, the Yellow Jackets have a 4th and 10 from the Paris 23-yard line. A drive that started with so much promise on a 42-yard completion to Robert Jackson. And Denison's had their opportunities from the 23. They've now got to get 10 yards. This is a power I, 2 tight set. Paris, 7 men on the line of scrimmage. On 4th and 10, McGuirk, he is going to play action, has some time. He steps up, launches it to the end zone. It is a diving grab, sticking it out. He dropped the ball. Oh, it was a touchdown waiting to be had by Vincent Rhodes, diving in the corner of the end zone. He hauled it in, and when he hit the ground, the ball popped free.
Well, it was a great diving effort by Rhodes. The ball was thrown a little bit too far out of his grasp when he made the dive for it, but he just couldn't come up with it.
Oh, that is, and no one is more distraught than the Yellow Jacket tight ends right now. But that is 2 touchdown passes on this drive that were late on the money, or that one led Rhodes a little bit. It had to because of the coverage, and he had it for just a moment. He just couldn't hold on as he hit the turf. Now it's up to the defense. 5:06 to go in the game. 14-6. Paris leads, and Gordon wants a timeout. We'll join him. We're back in a moment. We're back in a roller coaster atmosphere known as Munson Stadium. The Jackets were up through the first half, up most of the third quarter, but when it's all been on the line in the fourth, Paris has prevailed. They lead 14-6, 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the game. Gordon, play action. Farley giving chase, can't get him. Gordon's going to throw on the run. The ball's going to be complete to Maroney, the tight end, and out of bounds. He didn't want to do that, but he goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It's a first down for the Wildcats. It's just not working right now for the Jackets. They're so close, and it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, just not happening. And Farley right there. Farley was in the backfield, had a great shot to get the quarterback for a big loss, but just missed him. And it's just a game of inches, and it has been definitely that the past 2 minutes.
Well, the good news is that despite the first down, Maroney went out of bounds, stopped the clock, 4:57 to go in the game. This is Gordon, hands it off to Henderson, breaks the line of scrimmage, still going. Vincent Rhodes and company haul him down, but not until he gets the first down. And it's beginning to look like the Jacket defense has just been hung out to dry too much tonight.
Well, they've been on the field an awful lot, especially here in the second half. But he does cross midfield now in Denison territory at the 49-yard line.
4:48 and counting. First down and 10 Wildcats. They're up 14-6. Any more points would almost seal the deal for Brent Southworth's squad. And last week they were down 28-14 to Sherman. And he said in the second half grew up as they outscored the Bearcats and lost in a wild 42-35 finish at Bearcat Stadium. They are leading 14-6 here. Henderson breaks up the middle. Look out, he's gone. And ladies and gentlemen, this ball game is history. Henderson sprints into the end zone from 49 yards out, and with 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go, Paris leads 20-6, an almost identical margin to the past 2 years. 21-0 the loss last year, 21-7 the loss the year before, and in all 3 games, you can narrow it down to one thing and one thing only: turnovers.
That has been the story of tonight's football game. 2 fumbles, or actually 3 fumbles, one by sophomore Corey Robertson, one by sophomore Scooter Means. And
now that's not to say Denison has not had their opportunities, because they have been able to get the ball into Paris into the field. But
and one by quarterback Cody McGuirk.
Yep. Morrow on for the PAT. This one is going to have to hurry, and it does get there. And with 4:16 to go, 21 points for the 3rd consecutive year for the Paris Wildcats, and Denison's playoff hopes of clinching a playoff spot tonight are flickering dimly right now. We're back after this timeout. When we started the fourth quarter, it was 6-0, Denison in the lead.
Let's do an American Bank of Texas scoring drive recap. That one, 3 plays, 78 yards, and it was a 49-yard touchdown by Jesse Henderson was the final play. Now Paris on top, 21-6, only 4:16 left to go in this football game.
The Wildcats preparing for the Cable One kickoff. Chad Morrow will bang it, and for the first time tonight, he'll boot it deep. And this is going to be taken by the Yellow Jackets, Howard Jackson, I believe. It's going to be Robert Jackson. He's got a lane. It's Hines, rather, out to the 50-yard line and across into Wildcat territory before he's run out at the 48. I finally, thank you for telling me that was Hines. And let's dissect this game. Maybe I was a little bit unfair in saying that you could pin this loss on turnovers because, in fact, the Yellow Jackets did have the ball first and goal twice inside the 10 and had to settle for 6 both times. You get a touchdown in one of those situations, and it's a lot different game. If you get 2 touchdowns, it's definitely a different game. So it's been a combination of things tonight. McGuirk in the shotgun throws the little flare out. They may better grab that. That could have been a lateral. They're going to rule it an incomplete pass. It was just barely forward and off the fingertips of Corey Robertson. 2nd and 10, 3:58 to go.
This game changed with the extended timeout.
It really
with
did.
The Paris injury, and I think Paris has really rallied around their injured player, and they seem to have had all the momentum since that turning point in this football game. That's also the same play that Robertson went out with a slight ankle injury, or we don't know exactly if it's ankle or what. He's been back in since then, but it took a while for him to get back.
Denison, 21-6 down. McGuirk in the shotgun, back to pass. He'll set up, throws, caught. Vincent Rhodes, his first reception of the year, rumbling to the 40-yard line, and he's about a yard or 2 shy of the first down. That is Rhodes' first catch of the year, and oh, how I wish I could say that was Rhodes' second catch of the year.
Wouldn't that be nice? Had he
Actually, I wish I could say it was his 3rd catch of the year because he was wide open in the north end zone in the first half, and the ball just didn't get there. So 3rd down and 3 at the 40. The Jackets trying hard right now, but the Wildcats have got it going in their direction. McGuirk in the shotgun formation on 3rd down and 3 from the 40. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to fake it, keep it himself, gets the first down and more as he gets down to the 31-yard line. He faked the handoff, left Robertson, spun back to the interior of the line and followed the block of Gary Wetz and picked up the first down. Nice run by the senior QB.
They're going to say his knee went down at the 33, so they will move the sticks, but we're 3 minutes and 4 and counting to the end of this football game, and Denison somehow got to come up with 15 points to tie.
Well, and, if you could get the 2 TDs, you could get 2 2-point conversions and win, but they got some work to get the first one, and they're running out of time. 2:50, McGuirk in the shotgun, back to pass. Here comes pressure in his face. He'll throw. The ball is tipped, almost intercepted, and falls incomplete. It was Jerry Jones who went up for the ball, and he couldn't haul it in.
Well, he went up for the ball, and the ball kind of tipped off his hands, and anytime you tip a ball, you don't tip it up, you need to tip it down, because that ball was almost tipped up and intercepted by one of the defenders back there.
Now Anthony Hines walking gimpily along the near sideline, and if things don't reverse themselves in the next 2:43, it's going to be a must-win battle of the axe next Friday night at Bearcat Stadium. Denison would have to defeat Sherman to get into the playoffs. Handoff Robertson. No, it's going to be McGuirk again. He's running up the middle, corralled, spun, and gets down to the 25, now the 23-yard line before he stopped. He is right on the button for the first down. They may stop the clock for a measurement, and Denison's going to have to start thinking about getting the ball to the end zone in a hurry if they get this first down, because 2:33 to go in the game. It is a first down. They will wind the clock as Denison comes to the line. 2:31 now counting, and it's 1st and 10, the ball at the 23. Jackets in the hurry up. McGuirk sets them from the shotgun. 1st and 10 in the Paris 23. McGuirk, he'll look right, throws. It's a hot route, and it was a touchdown that was dropped, but I'm telling you, folks, it was to the other team. It was an interception. Deontay Carter stepped in front of the throw, had it hit him in the numbers, and would have been gone, and he dropped the ball.
Yeah, that had touchdown written all over it. He just simply dropped it. It hit him, right, like you said, right in the old number 9. That's the jersey he wears. It happened right about the 15-yard line. And that was very fortunate that he did drop it.
It will stop the clock. 2:16 to go in the game. Second down and 10 from the 22. McGuirk, the quarterback. 3 receivers set, including Josh Vaughn. This is going to be Robertson, handoff, running left. He tries to cut it back inside as the lane closed down, and he's going to be stopped around the 20-yard line. Sets up third down and long. Most importantly, the clock continues to roll. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in this Week 9 game. And what started as Jacket quarter with a 6-0 Yellow Jacket lead is a 21-6 Paris lead. And the Wildcats on the verge of coming back and stunning the Jackets on their home turf.
Well, I think you got to take a shot right here, probably towards the end zone.
1:43 to go in the game. The Jackets are taking their time at the line of scrimmage. And McGuirk calls for the ball, rolls right, hit as he throws. It's complete. Christian Brown made the catch of the year. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, I don't know how he held on to that football. As soon as he caught it, and he caught it on the fingertips, but as soon as he did haul it in, he was smashed by one of the defenders, and somehow he held on to the football. They're going to mark it inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
And it will be 4th down and 2. Denison's got to start hurrying up. There's 15 seconds on the play clock, only 1 minute and 7 seconds on the game clock, and the Jackets are down by 2 touchdowns. McGuirk calls for the ball on 4th down and short. This is McGuirk. He'll pull it out of Robertson's belly, heads toward the 10-yard line. It's going to be close. Did he get the first down?
I'm not sure if he did, but he didn't get out of bounds. That's one of the major things.
First down, they say. So first down, they can get a 1st and goal at the 2. The clock is standing on 56 seconds. Denison's down by 2 touchdowns. And the clock will roll. 50 seconds and counting. The Jackets not hurrying to the line. 45 seconds and counting. 41 seconds and counting. Denison still just now snaps the ball. Quick inside throw. Incomplete and nearly intercepted again. And the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line.
That play took 20 seconds, I believe. From the time he was down, they moved the sticks and got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well,
20 seconds.
Sometimes, some nights it's just not meant to happen, and tonight may be one of those for the Jackets. 34 seconds in the game. McGuirk pumps, he throws, it's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. Roger Grant, check that, not Roger Grant, on the reception. We're going to have to check. That player is one we have not called this year, and he is not listed on the Denison roster. And with 29 seconds to go, Cody McGuirk throws his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. And will the Jackets go for 2 or 1 here? They're lined up in the PAT position. The play clock winding at 15 seconds. They're looking to the sidelines. They will go for 2, apparently. McGuirk flanked by Farley. And this is McGuirk running to the right side. He's going to sprint, tries to get it in, and he does cross the goal line for the 2-point conversion. You can stick that one in the end zone and put it on the scoreboard with 29 seconds to go. It is 21-14, and everybody in the house knows what's coming up. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back after these messages. And if Denison has any dreams of coming back and upsetting or coming back and winning this game, it is simply going to be riding on this onside kick. The first onside opportunity of the year. Farley lining up on the cable one onside kick, bangs it, tries to get the big hop, and it is going to be fielded by the Wildcats, and this ball game is over. This ball game is over as the Wildcats' Rufus Hill fielded it on the hop, and with 26 seconds to go, what a stunner at Munson Stadium as the Jackets fall 21-14. Now, Monte, give us an American Bank of Texas drive recap.
Well, this one, 3 plays. Actually, I got that wrong. This one is the 8 plays and 46 yards. And it was the 12-yard touchdown from McGuirk to Richard Patterson that got him on the board. 2-point conversion by McGuirk brings our new score 21-14. Paris on top. Only 26 seconds left to go. It looks like a miracle would have to happen right now.
Yep, and if Gordon goes to the knee, and he does, that's it. Final snap of the game. The Jackets cannot stop the clock as they are out of timeouts. And, ladies and gentlemen, what started as a 6-0 Denison lead entering Jacket quarter, the 4th quarter, saw Paris outscore Denison 21-8. in the final stanza, and unbelievably, for the third year, beat Denison by putting 21 on the board. The clock has expired.